Good morning, children. How are you? Hope you all are fine. Okay. How's your studies? Is it going well? Okay. Today, are you all ready to learn? Okay. Now, we will be going to our new unit, Share and Care. And we will be dealing with the very first lesson. So, unit's name is Share and Care. So, from that name, we can understand that you will be learning some good values, right? Sharing and caring is something good, right? Okay. Are you familiar with the words share and care? What do you mean by sharing? Sharing means, yeah, giving out things to others. Then caring, looking after others, showing some kindness to others. All this come under sharing. Okay. So our chapter's name is the School for Sympathy. So why the name of the chapter School for Sympathy? Why the word sympathy used? What is the meaning of sympathy? Are you familiar with that word sympathy? Sympathy means showing pity to others during some misfortune or some bad incidents, during some accidents. We show sympathy towards others. Why is it related to the school? The school for sympathy. Any guesses? No guesses? Okay. Okay, I will ask you another question. Are you familiar with the disabled people? With any disability, being a blind, deaf, or cripple, lame people? Yeah, we know many people. We have seen many people with some disabilities who are physically challenged, who are being deaf or blind. You're familiar with all such people. Okay, so in this lesson, we will be learning a new perspective of studies. Okay, studying some good values. Okay, one more question. Why do we come to school? What all things do we learn from the school? Why do we come to school? Yeah, for studying. This is a basic thing. Then, what all things that you study from the school? Yeah, we study language, science, maths, social science. Yeah, many subjects and languages we learn from the school. Above all those things, we learn some more things. What is that? Some good values, right? We learn some good values. So, showing sympathy is such a value. In this lesson, the school for sympathy, there is a school for teaching sympathy, which is run by an old lady called Miss B. So, before coming into the lesson, we have to familiarize, we have to become familiar with the author, that is E.V. Lucas. E.V. Lucas is a very famous writer in English. He is a very famous novelist, a short story writer, and essayist. So, he is born in London and he is very well known for his works. And the School for Sympathy is a very beautiful work. And I am definite that you will learn something good from this lesson. You will definitely learn something good from this lesson. So let's do an activity. Children, can you identify this person? Do you know who is this? This is E.V. Lucas. Who is E.V. Lucas? Yeah, E.V. Lucas is the author of this chapter, The School for Sympathy. Now let's look on to his biography, a short biography. Edward Vera Lucas, that is his full name, was born in London, and he was an English essayist, a humorist, a biographer, publisher, poet, novelist, short story writer, and also an editor. He is well known for his works. His notable works are The Face on the Wall, The Book of Shops, The Visit to London. These are some of his notable works. So E.V. Lucas, he was an English essayist, humorist, and a well-known writer. And his full name is Edward Vera Lucas, and his notable works, The Face on the Wall, The Book of Shops, The Visit to London. That's about E.V. Lucas, who is the author of our chapter, The School for Sympathy. Please jot it down. Most of us take our lives for granted. Despite being physically fit, we keep complaining and making excuses. And here they are, the differently able people who prove that you do not need two hands, legs, or eyes to be successful in life. All you need is a willpower and determination. Here are a few people. Look at these pictures. Are you able to identify these famous personalities? Do you know her? Yeah, this is Sudha Chandran, is an Indian film and television actress and an accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer. Do you know what is the peculiarity of this dancer? Yeah, she's a dancer with an amputated leg. She was hurt her leg in a road accident near Tamil Nadu, and her leg became gangrenous and her parents opted to have it amputated. However, she subsequently became an established Bharatanatyam dancer. Now, who's this? Yeah, this is Helen Keller. Helen Adams Keller. She was an American author, a political activist, and a lecturer. And you know what? She was the first deaf-blind person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. She was a blind as well as a deaf, and also an American author and a political activist. She was known for her works like The Story of My Life, The Miracle Worker, etc. So, a deaf-blind person to earn BA degree. First deaf-blind person, Helen Keller. Now, do you know who is this? I think this one is a familiar one to you. Stephen Hawking. He is a well-known physicist, an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author who was director of research at the Center for Theoretical Cosmology. He was affected with a motor neuron disease, and he suffered a lot from very young age. Was affected with several diseases. He was not even able to speak, but he was at the time of his death. He was a well-known physicist. And now who is this? This is Mahakavi Vallathol. He's from Kerala, and he's a deaf poet. So there are many other people like this who are very famous, but they are not physically fit like us. They are physically challenged, but they work hard and By means of confidence, faith, and courage, they were able to overcome their physical obstacles and achieve success in their life, which the healthy people find difficult to do. Children, now you take your course book, page number 167. Underline the words which are difficult for you. You can ask me doubts and queries. Okay, let's start. The School for Sympathy. Schools are centers of learning where we acquire knowledge and share our experiences. Let's visit a school and find out how students learn and share their experiences. I had heard a lot about Miss Beam's school, but I did not get the chance to visit it till last week. When I arrived at the school, I saw a girl of about 12 with her eyes covered with a bandage being led carefully between the flower buds by a little boy of 8. She stopped and asked who it was that had come in, and he seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. Miss Beam was all that I had expected, middle aged, authoritative, kind, and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and her round figure was likely to be comforting to a homesick child. We chatted for a while, and when I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple, she said, "We teach only those things that are simple and useful to pupils: spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying, writing, etc. The rest is done by reading to them and giving them interesting tasks. There are practically no other lessons." "I have heard so much," I said, "about the originality of your system." Miss Beam smiled. "Ah, yes," she said, "I'm coming to that." The real aim of the school is not to teach thought but thoughtfulness, humanity, kindness, and citizenship. That is the ideal I have always had, and happily, there are parents good enough to trust me to try and put it into practice. Look out of the window a minute, will you? I went to the window, which looked out on a large garden and a playground at the back. "What do you see?" Miss Beam asked. "I see some very beautiful grounds," I said, "and a lot of jolly children. But what surprises me and pains me too is that they are not at all healthy and active. As I came in, I saw one poor little thing being led about because of some trouble with her eyes. And now I can see two more in the same condition, while there is a girl with a crutch just under the window watching the others at play. She seems to be a hopeless cripple." Miss Beam laughed. "Oh no," she said, "she is not lame really. This is only her lame day. Nor are those others blind. It is only their blind day." I must have looked very much astonished, for she laughed again. There you have an essential part of her system in a nutshell. In order to get these young minds to appreciate and understand misfortune, we make them share in misfortune too. In the course of the term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged, and it is a point of honor not to peep. The bandage is put in on overnight. They wake up blind. This means that they need assistance in everything, and other children are told to help them and let them about. It is educative to both of them, the blind and the helpers. "Everyone is very kind," Miss Beam continued, "and it is really something of a jog. Although, of course, before the day is over, the reality of the disability becomes clear even to the least thoughtful. The blind day is, of course, really the worst, but some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most frightening. There, of course, the child must use willpower only because the mouth is not bandaged. But come down into the garden and see for yourself how the children like it." Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girls, a little Murray thing. "Here is a gentleman come to talk to you," said Miss Beam, and left us. "Don't you ever peep?" I asked by the way of an opening. Oh no, she exclaimed. That would be cheating. But I had no idea it was so awful to be blind. You can't see a thing. One feels one is going to be hit by something every moment. Sitting down is such a relief. Children, now we have completed reading the lesson. Do you have any difficulties? Do you have any doubts? Have you noted down any difficult words? I will give you the meaning of some of the difficult words. You please jot it down. Okay? Homesick, which means missing one's home. Homesick means missing one's home. Humanity, the quality of being benevolent. Crutch, a device to assist in motion as a cane. Lame, unable to walk properly because of a problem with one's feet or legs. Cripple, a person who has severely impaired physical abilities. Then the last one is nutshell. Nutshell means a short summary. So, homesick means missing one's home. Humanity means the quality of being benevolent. Crutch, which is a device to assist in motion as a cane. Then lame, unable to walk properly because of a problem with one's feet or legs. Cripple, a person who has severely impaired physical abilities. Nutshell, a short summary. Okay, have you noted it? Children, we have completed reading the lesson and we have discussed the glossary. Now you all are familiar with the difficult words and also with the first half of the lesson. Now, may I ask you some questions? Are you ready to answer? I'll ask you only 6 questions. You have to answer it. Okay, very simple questions. Please listen. First question. Who is the author of the poem? It is a very simple question. Who is the author of the poem? Yes, E.V. Lucas is the author of the poem. Now, the second question. Why do you think the author wanted to visit Miss Beam's school? Why do you think the author wanted to visit Miss Beam's school? What is the need? What's the answer? The author wanted to visit Miss Beam's school because he had heard a lot about Miss Beam's school. So the author wanted to visit Miss Beam's school because he had heard a lot about Miss Beam's school. Is it okay? Okay, now let's move on to the third question. Do you think Miss Beam's school is different from other schools? If so, how is it different? Do you think that Miss Beam's school is different? Yes. Miss Beam's school is different from other schools. Their teaching methods are quite different. They taught only those things are simple and useful to them, and some interesting tasks are given. Okay, what is the difference in Miss Beam's school? Yes, their teaching methods are quite different. They taught only those things are simple and useful to them, and some interesting tasks are given. Now let's move on to the next question. What, according to Miss Beam, is the real aim of the school? The answer is the real aim of the school is not to teach thought but thoughtfulness, then humanity, kindness, and citizenship. So, the real aim of the school is not to teach thought, but thoughtfulness, humanity, kindness, and citizenship. That is Miss Beam School's aim. Now, the next question. It is educative to both of them. Explain how it helps the blind and the helpers. So, how the blind and the helper will become educated. The helper learns the value of mutual help and compassion, and the blind understands the problems of differently able. So, what is the reason that Miss Beam gives? The helper learns the value of mutual help and compassion, and the blind understands the problems of differently able people. Is it okay? Now move on to the next question. What makes a dumb day most frightening for the children? Why the dumb day is most frightening to the children? The dumb day is most frightening for the children because on the dumb day the child must use his or her willpower as a mouth is not bandaged. The speciality of the dumb day is that the child's mouth is not bandaged. With their willpower, they have to behave like a dumb and to understand the difficulties of the dumb. So, the dumb day is the most frightening day for all the children in the school, or most of the children in the school is frightened of dumb day rather than the blind day or a lame day. So, I have asked you 6 questions. Do you have any doubts? Okay. Okay, children. Now I will give you the summary of the lesson. So, what is the name of our lesson? The School for Sympathy. Who's the author? E.V. Lucas. So, in this story, uh, the author visits the school of Miss B. So, she is one of the main characters of this story, Miss B. So, Miss B is conducting a school which is different from other schools. Let's look upon what are the differences from other schools. Before that, I want to say some more things. The author firstly visits the school and he has find that a young girl's eye is tied with a bandage and she is walking with a guide. She can't see. So that is the very first sight that he sees in that school. Okay. Now, why the author is there in that school? Because he has heard a lot about Miss Beam School. He has heard many things about Miss Beam School. It is different from other school. There are some peculiarities. So, he is very much eager to know what is happening in that school. That's why he is there in that school. Okay. Now, Miss Beam, an old lady whose hair is grey and she is fat, but she is very authoritative, kind and respectful. Okay. Now the author meets Miss Beam and she says about the school's syllabus and other peculiar things. She says that they taught only some grammar, some basic grammars, basic calculation and some language. What their calculations are some addition, subtraction and multiplication, nothing more than that. So the author become confused. Then what is the need of such a school? Okay, she says that she is there. The ideal of a school is that to teach thoughtfulness rather than thoughts. She is there to taught some thoughtfulness, citizenship, kindness, humanity. All these things are taught in that school. So in normal schools, what we learn? we learn science, social science, English, maths. But in Miss Beam's school, she is there to teach humanity, citizenship, thoughtfulness, kindness. So there is a question. Who is there to send children to that school? But Miss Beam very happily says that there are parents who are very much willing and eager to send their children to that school. So there are ample number of children in that school. So Miss Beam asked the author to look in the ground and see what is happening there. And the author looks into the ground. But he was not so happy. Why? Because there are many children who are not healthy. Some are blind, some are using crutches. So he was a little disappointed. He was not so happy to see such children who are disabled. Seeing his face, Miss Beam understood what is the thing. So Miss Beam asked what happened. His face shows the pain that he felt inside. So Miss Beam asked him what happened, and he says that why the children are not so active, they are not healthy. So, but what's the response? Miss Beam laughed and says that these are the interesting tasks given to them. So, she already taught that there is no tough lessons there, but she is giving some tasks. So, this is such a task. What are the tasks? It is to perform as a deaf, a blind, a lame. So there are different days for that. They are given tasks based on this. A child have to act as a blind. So for that she has to tie her eyes before she wakes up. Like that, like blind day, there is lame day, dumb day, deaf day, all these types of days are there. So every child become able to appreciate the misfortune faced by the children. So we all know many disabled people, right? But we never think. We are not even ready to think about the difficulties that they face. Right? Okay. So in Miss Beam's school, she is giving them an opportunity to think about it. And she is giving an opportunity to experience what is the difficulties faced by the disabled people. So Miss Beam is again talking about her school, why she is giving such tasks, what is the intention of her school. Now Miss Beam gives him an opportunity to communicate with one of the students of her. That girl is blind on that day, and the author is given an opportunity to talk to her, and he asks about the difficulties. So she says that it is a very difficult task to become a blind, and some children also have an opinion that it is very difficult to become a dumb because they are not even able to open their mouth, they are not even able to talk or utter a word. So from these things we can understand that in the school they are able to impart some qualities, some values. They can understand the difficulties of others, right? Okay, I think this is enough for today. We will continue the lesson on the next day. Before that, I have to give you an activity. You have to find the words and phrases which shows the characteristics and attitudes of Miss B, the main character of the story. Okay? Hope you are understood.